Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the Daily Tarot for Tuesday, the 19th of January. Nearly said December. That's the birthday of someone very close to me. That's why I've got it in my head. The 19th of January 2021. Something quite nice and sharp and incisive about that date. Tuesday, it's not kind of floppy or soggy. 19, that's a nice zingy kind of number. So yeah, anyway, I am using the Ancient Italian Tarot as per, and this is a major arcana reading as per. So I'm just going to have one or two more shuffles. Hope you're well wherever you are. Okay. Let's pull the first card. Fool in the reverse. Okie doke. So perhaps a revisiting of something. Perhaps, but that's more kind of judgment, isn't it? Anyway, let's pull another one. Wheel of Fortune. In the reverse. Are we scared to step out, my friends, because we're afraid of what might happen? Well, we'd better get a hold of ourselves, hadn't we? Strength in the upright. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, perhaps a bit of sort of hesitation with a sense of foreboding, basically. I don't know whether it's just because those words seem to go together nicely. That reminds me of that Beatles song, Michelle. Michelle, ma belle, these are words that go together well. My Michelle. Yeah, but, you know, what can we do? Strength. We've got to get over that. We've got to get a hold of ourselves. Basically, that's what happens in the Strength card. We've got this kind of untrammeled, unmediated, uneducated, I might pull that out again later, just fell down, untrained energy there in the Lion, being trained, trammelled, got hold of, and had a word with, and got to grips with. Because, you know, no matter how strong our feelings are, and I'll tell you what's coming through to me through this is the difference. It's quite hard to spot, oops, especially if you're a bit younger, between strength of feeling and truth of feeling. Something that you feel very strongly can sort of take on the characteristics of actuality, and it's not always the case. Just because you really feel it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Okay, we've got the Hanged Man. So this is an invitation to look at it this way and look at it that way, and yet not act necessarily. And this is shaping up into a day to draw your horns in like a snail. Draw your horns in and consider your options in as mature and kind of cool-headed a way as possible, which is, you know, sometimes quite useful. Sometimes it's time to act, sometimes it's time to not act. Okay, that's interesting. That jumped out in the upright while I was shuffling. It's come back in the reverse, so I'm taking it as, well, what it is. I decided to put it back in the shuffle Yeah, it's not time to sort of seal a deal or make a kind of final commitment on something. There's something in the guts of us where that lion is in the strength card there that needs to be sorted. And it might even be the sort of reliance on the idea of luck, fortune, in the Wheel of Fortune there. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune, which was the second card that came out in this reading, it never really makes much difference to me whether it's in the upright or in the reverse, because, you know, there's no right way up for a wheel, is there? Yeah, it's just a notion of good luck or bad luck. And excuse me, that strength card there is telling me that we might do well to look at the notion of making our own luck and being pretty bloody cool-headed. And the Hanged Man, taking ourselves out of the flow, getting off the busy street, out of the river, sitting on the edge, sitting on the bank, and having a good old series of sort of thought experiments. Well, what if I look at it this way? And what if I look at it that way? What if I imagine this 5 years in the future? What might I have wished I had done now? And I'm kind of getting that from the Sun in the reverse as well. It is not time to seal the deal. And that's not because the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse and, you know, if you seal the deal, you'll be sort of creating some bad luck for yourself. It's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact there is something in the guts of us, strength card, that we haven't got to grips with yet. Oh, the Tower. Okay, something to do with our sense of establishment and power in that establishment. And I'm getting a really strong feeling, actually, this is to do with identity. And I'm getting that from the Fool. Because the Fool is the sort of proto card of identity. It's the I am card. Our sense of what we are in the world, and therefore how others see us, and how the identity that we embody in ourselves and embody in the eyes of others gives us a kind of sense of stability and security. And yeah, I think this is one of the things in play. What happens when that sense of security and stability, what's the trade-off? Because you see, when we say that, you know, I am a blah blah blah, there's an awful lot of those labels around now, and I honestly think we're moving into a time where it really doesn't matter how you identify. What matters is, like, are you a decent person? Do you have strength? Do you have courage? I mean, look at the courage this woman is showing. She's got her hands in the lion's mouth. It's very gentle, but, you know, it's very effective. But by God, it's brave. It's bravery that's coming, or that's the requirement for bravery is coming. And that, as I say, that trade-off in the Tower, because you see what we have here at the bottom, oops, look, there's a stock on that leg and a ball and chain attached to that. These, attached to his arm, these notions of power and security, which certainly was there in the Tower before it was struck by flipping lightning, can imprison us. And when we get kind of locked down inside our own identity, what happens to us when an act of nature, an act of God, comes along like this bolt of lightning, and kind of the unthinkable happens and we're shaken to our foundations. What happens then? We become vulnerable. And look how vulnerable he is. Look, he's hardly got any clothes on. He's lying there, he can't move, he's probably like injured. So I'm really, really getting the feeling this is about identity. Things are in question, but there is strength on the table here. There is strength, and we do have an opportunity, I would say, today. Oops. Now that has jumped out 3 times in the shuffle. I'm not even going to say what it is. I'm going to put it straight back in the pack and put another one. We have the opportunity to take some time and think carefully, reflect as the hanged man does, and think about those deep-rooted things in that lion, and apply the cool head of consideration and not rush to judgment, no matter how vulnerable we may feel. Okay, devil in reverse. Yeah, this is where it's at, you see. This is where it's at. This devil energy of being kind of deliciously trapped and tied down, and perhaps not wanting to move beyond our self-created and self-sustained boundaries. Like, how limiting is that? How imprisoning is that? But here it's in the reverse. There's an opportunity here to really, really shift paradigm. And I'm seeing that in the Fool card as well. Wonderful. Because you see, once you've tamed that lion, the next time those sort of like really kind of toddler-like impulses come up, you'll be ready for them. Once you've tamed it once, you'll be ready for them whenever they come, and you'll recognize them for what they are, and they won't tie you down, they won't make you vulnerable. Lovely. The Empress. Growth. Right, there's really, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. By holding off the move to kind of commit and seal the deal, which we see here in the Sun in reverse, and by having a good look at the childlike impulses that exist in all of us, it's not just some of us, it's all of us, and spending some time like the Hanged Man, looking at, really, really considering what these things mean for us. We all talk about, I want the life I want to be the person I want to be, I want my dream job, I want my dream house, I want my dream partner, I want my dream life. I'll tell you what, you'll get that maybe, but then it won't be a flipping dream anymore, will it? And you're going to have to start dreaming all over again. And you get what you want. I know I've experienced this law of attraction thing. You get what you call in. But fancy that, a load of other stuff came with it that you hadn't remembered to specify you didn't want. This is a step up. This is a paradigm shift in thinking, and a liberation. And with that liberation, with clearing that ground, and with kind of not panicking, I would say, and I say strength and the Tower, not panicking with the vulnerability, and really considering things and not putting it down to bad luck, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and sort of just stretching a little bit beyond our normal kind of, I like it like this, limits. Here in the Devil in the reverse, we clear the territory. We like hack away a bit of the undergrowth, the overgrowth, whatever. Hack away and clear some space to actually plant some seeds. and get some new growth and some really like useful fecundity and fertility. This is wonderful. So there we go. There we go. Don't rush to seal any kind of deal or commit to anything. There's something down in the guts to be examined, and it's not about bad luck. It's about identity and what happens when we move beyond our normal sense of who and what we are and what that means to ourselves, and how we think that reflects in the eyes of others. And there's opportunity for the wonderful, unstoppable Shakti of growth. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another reading. Namaste.